Okay, we're ready for the second part of our potions project. So I have my coffee filters that are dry. I have my bottles I drew the last time. I also need a big piece of black paper, scissors, glue, and a pencil. And I'm going to be using some chalk on my black paper, but if you don't have chalk, you can use crayons. All right, so to start, I am going to cut out my 3 little containers. All right, so there are the 3 little containers. So next, I'm going to decide which coffee filter to use for each container. So I'm going to use the greenish blue one for this container. So what I want to do is with my pencil, I want to trace. Now I'm not going to fill the container all the way. So I want to just trace part way up. I don't know if you can see that, but there's my pencil line, and I left this part open. So now I'm going to cut this out. And when you get to that open part, you can cut straight across, or you can make it like a little bit wavy to show that it's liquid in the container. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to make it just a little bit wavy. And now I'm going to take that and glue it onto my bottle. Now, if you find that you can still see the pencil lines, you can trim it a little bit more, or you could try to erase it. Okay, so there's one. Now I'm looking at the part I really like the most, so I'm going to use that part. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to trace part way up my container. And again, I made the top a little bit wavy. Okay. And then I'll do my test tube. So again, I'm going to cut on the pencil line. This one I'm going to leave more straight at the top. So if you're really gentle, you can erase the pencil line a little bit. Okay. So next, we want to make it look like our potions are kind of like bubbling. So I'm just going to figure out which way I want to glue my containers on. So I'm kind of gluing them not exactly on the bottom of the black paper, but more towards the middle. So I have some space above and below. So now that I've decided where to glue them, and they don't have to be straight up and down either. They can be a little slanted if you want them to be. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the tissue paper, not the tissue paper, the coffee filter, sorry. And I'm going to do some circles, just tiny. I'm just going to cut a piece off. And you can see it's a pretty small piece. And I'm just going to use my scissors and cut. Now they're not going to be perfect circles, but to cut a few of each color to make it look like the potion's coming out of the container. So again, I'm on my greenish blue container, cutting some circles. Do 4 for this one. Okay, and then the last one. Okay, so now I want to glue those down. Now I have quite a bit of coffee filter paper left, so I'm going to save that for another project. So you don't have to throw it away, you can use it to make something else. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue these on. Oh, something I forgot to do was create that opening at the top for each one, because I turned mine over, so I actually cut that part off. So before I glue now, I'm just using a regular pencil for this, but you could use a black if you want to. Okay. All right, so now it looks like our bubbles are coming out of our potion bottles. I'm just going to try something. I'm going to go around these with a pencil just to see if that makes it look. Yeah, I think you can see them better if you do that. So I'm going to go ahead and trace around each of my bubbles with the pencil. Now once you get to the, if you have any sticking out on the black, you probably won't have to trace around it on the black. Now for the next part, I'm going to use chalk. Now probably most of you don't have chalk at home. What I'm going to use is called chalk pastels. So if you don't, you'll need a white crayon and some of the colors that you used in your on your coffee filters in crayon form. Okay, so with my white oil or chalk pastel, I'm going to start drawing some bigger bubbles. Just different sizes all around the paper. Now, some of them I'm going to just put some white lines in, and others I'm going to add a little bit of those colors. So the first thing I'm going to do is use my finger and go around each one, because chalk blends into the paper. Actually, I'm just going to go and do the whole, even in the middle, to make it look more like a bubble. Okay, now in the smaller ones mostly are the ones I'm going to do those little lines in. And then in some of the other ones, I'm going to put like a white curved line. Could be at the top, could be at the bottom. And then I want to get some of my other colors that I used in my coffee filters. So I found a pink. So over here I'm going to do a pink line. I found a purple. Let's see. A red. So I'm kind of keeping the color in the bubble near the color coffee filter it matches with. Do another pink. Another one of those reddish ones. Now you can blend these too if you're using chalk. You can blend those in as well if you want to. Sorry. All right, now I'm going to do some greens and some blues. For some of these bubbles near this container. Okay, and then I'm going to use some yellow over here and some orange, if I can find any. It's kind of a orangey color. Here we go. Have a little orange. All right, so now we have this nice picture. If you wanted to, you don't have to, you could write the word potions on your paper. So I'm gonna do that, I think. I'm gonna use like a light blue color. And I'm just going to write it kind of going sideways here. And then I could blur it with the chalk if I wanted to. I mean, blur the chalk with my finger. All right, so that is our finished picture. I hope you had fun making it. This is one of my favorite projects to do. So I will see you next week for some new videos. Have a great week.